Good morning, YouTube family and friends. I hope you all had a great week. My week was okay. It wasn't nothing drastic happened, thankfully. Today is Saturday, October 25th, 2025, and this is my week 83 results of being back on Mounjaro, along with having a host of medical issues. Yay, so much fun! So I did have appointments this week besides my uh, water physical therapy at the YMCA on Monday and Wednesday morning. On Wednesday, I had two other doctor's appointments. I had my 6-month check in with my liver doctor, gastroenterologist. That's the word I was looking for. And then in the afternoon, I had an appointment with my primary care physician to go over filling paperwork out for long-term disability with my employer. So we will get into all that fun stuff here in a minute. I wanted to start this week off by giving you my weigh-in. So those of you who just want to see my weigh-in, don't have to wait till the end of the video. And I'm going to try to make this video short, but you know how it goes with me and trying to make short videos, it never happens. So, all right. So last week I weighed in at 230. This morning I weighed in at 229. So I lost 1 pound this week. We'll see how it goes next week with all the Halloween candy. Oh, I bought tons of it because I expect it to be a busy night given the fact that Halloween falls on a Friday night and it's going to be decent weather out. So I look for us to be really busy, and I'm wearing a Halloween costume for the first time. Let me show you what that's going to look like. I have it right here. Yay! And it actually fits me. I was shocked. I was worried that it wasn't going to fit, but it actually fits me. And I bought the makeup thing to go with it. I love Halloween. It's my favorite holiday next to Christmas. So yay. I even bought a couple of outdoor Christmas stuff already. I went to Menards a couple of days ago. Yeah, going to Menards at this time of year with a paid off Menards credit card, this is not a good mix. I spent a little over $300 on my Menards card, but it's been paid off for several years, so I don't mind. I wanted to use it because I haven't used it in so many years, so I wanted to make sure they don't close it on me for non-usage. Some credit cards will, some won't. So I didn't want to take a chance. So I thought I'd choose it. But anyway, I got sidetracked. Sorry, folks. So yeah, that's a 1 pound weight loss, which puts my results at a total of 7 pounds weight loss in these 83 weeks of being back on Mounjaro, while also dealing with a host of medical issues. I was down a lot more than that at a point about 2 years ago, before I got diagnosed with my autoimmune disease. But I got diagnosed with generalized myasthenia gravis in July of 2024. But my symptoms started in late 2023, because I was going to the gym 5-6 days a week. No, I was really going strong at it. I had got myself down to a good amount. I was down to 210 by my scale, 217 by the doctor's scale. And then I started to develop minor symptoms. I started to get fatigued a lot more. And it really started to come to a head in late 2023. But I didn't know what it was. I thought it was just my tiredness from my sleep apnea or from my liver cirrhosis stemming from my non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. So, because they all can cause fatigue, especially during the day. So I didn't think nothing of it, but when I started to develop ptosis, which is the droopiness of the eyelid, that's when I went to the doctors, and they initially thought it was Bell's palsy, but I pushed saying, no, I did some research online and my symptoms fit more with this thing called myasthenia gravis, which I never heard of before then. And thankfully my doctor listened. She still thought it was Bell's palsy, but she went ahead and did a blood draw just to check for the autoantibodies, and they came back high. So I'm so glad she listened to me. So, but anyway, you know all that story. If you watch all my other previous videos, you know all that stuff. So, but yeah, it's been a challenge. So, okay, so I went and I see my liver doctor, and of course I had my ultrasound done earlier this month, and the ultrasound came back. Everything's holding steady. It's still showing cirrhosis and scarring of the liver. It's still showing portal hypertension, which results in it's still showing I have a enlarged spleen. So, but there was no ascites, no fluid buildup in the abdomen. So even though the portal hypertension, enlarged spleen, and I also have a esophageal varices, so I have a swelling of the vein in my esophagus. Those are usually in decompensated stage of liver, last stage of a final stage of liver cirrhosis. But since I'm not having any other symptoms happening due to that besides a low platelet count, my last platelet count that was taken about a month ago is down to 116. But as long as it stays above 100, we're okay. My blood's still clotting like it should, thankfully. So, but no, I told her that I'm starting to bruise easier. I have a couple of bruises on my legs where I have no idea where they came from. I don't remember hitting them anywhere. I get bruises on my arms, which I don't know what they're from. So it seems like if I do hit them, it's so minor that I don't even think anything of it, and then I bruise. So it's like it doesn't take much for me to bruise. So that's a symptom of it probably progressing. So I told her that one of my major anxieties, because I'm going to a psychiatrist and a therapist, and I haven't been back to work since my thymectomy back on June 9th of 2025, so earlier this year. They removed my thymus gland to hopefully treat my autoimmune disease, my generalized myasthenia gravis. It's my anxiety and everything is overwhelming. I'm on medication. I think we got the right combination of medication, which includes trazodone, but the bad side effect of that stuff, I can't work on it. Main thing is when I take the trazodone at night, I'm on 150 milligrams. I just want to fall asleep within 10 minutes, and unfortunately it stays in my system all day long, so I am constantly tired all day long. I'm talking extreme fatigue. Like right now, my eyes, the tiredness, I can feel it all across the space, like on my eyes, around to the side of my head in this zone. It's a weird sensation, but I could sleep all day if I let myself. Like that. I do that all day too. I've been out for about an hour. I just showered, and I just want to go back to bed. But the main thing is trazodone is supposed to help me fall asleep and hopefully keep me asleep, and it's doing that now. The 100 milligrams wasn't doing that. So, but this 150 milligrams, it's helped me fall asleep, and I'm sleeping for about the first half part of the night. But then I start waking up again. I think it's because I have this Inspire nerve stimulator implanted in me where I got a battery pack that goes up. You can see the cord that goes up, and that stimulates the tongue when I sleep. Every time I take a breath in, it stimulates the back of the tongue to move forward, so my tongue can't collapse and block my airway. Well, because of my autoimmune disease, my generalized myasthenia gravis, when it first kicks in, I have it set for a half-hour delay so I can fall asleep before it kicks in when I turn it on. And a lot of times, especially before I went to 150 milligrams, I was awake when it kicked on, and it was strong, powerful, almost painful. So it's like, usually it's not supposed to move the tongue out that far, but it does. It's like, for about 5 seconds. relaxes for 2 seconds, and it's painful because it's like, especially the bottom of the tongue, it's scraping against my teeth because it's going forward so powerful. It's like, and when I lay my head, shit, if I sleep if I'm on my side, which I sleep on my side for the most part, I can just feel and hear the vibrations of that nerve, of that stimulator, shocking that nerve to tell the muscles to move forward. Well, unfortunately, it's doing that all night long. Constant 5 seconds shock, 2 seconds off, 5 seconds shock, 2 seconds off. So it's working the nerve and the muscles are getting fatigued. I still have trouble swallowing certain foods, where I have to swallow foods 3 or 4 times, because especially the drier foods, starchy food like potatoes, bread, especially real dry bread, it's like it hangs back in the back of my throat, and I can't swallow all of it. Even on small bites, it's like it hangs back there. It's irritating. I'm worried. Hopefully, it doesn't. So far, I've had just a couple minor instances where when I'm drinking something, it goes down the wrong pipe. So, but I think my esophagus is working fine. The esophagus is lined with muscles as well that can be affected, but I'm not having any choking from it. So my esophagus is fine. It's just the muscles in the back of my throat, which I think is the tongue muscles. They get weak because they're constantly working all night long. So that's that. See, when I do something to fix one issue I have, it creates issues with another thing. So, but going back to this, I get sidetracked all the time. I don't wonder why my videos are so long. I'm already at 12 minutes here. So extreme fatigue all day long. My psychiatrist, even though she won't tell me yes or no if I can go back to work, basically at my main job, but she has told me not to drive my second jobs, which I drive Uber, and I haven't driven Uber since like July because I was getting fatigued all day long. And the last couple times I drove, I almost fell asleep when I had passengers in my car, so I had to stop, which is really hurting me financially. I don't know how I made it this long without that second income, but I made it. I made it work somehow. So, but anyway, so it's extreme fatigue. So even if I wanted to work right now, I couldn't. It's just not possible. Not to mention the other bad side effect. I have several side effects of this trazodone, and also some of these side effects could also be caused by my medication I take in the morning, that venlafaxine, for my anxiety, depression, sadness. So, but anyway, like I said, trazodone can cause a low blood pressure, which causes you to nearly pass out, which I've done several times. When it's not as bad, just if I stand up from sitting too fast, if I stand up too fast from sitting, I can get like, but when it gets really bad, like I said, my eyes go blurry, and I've had an instance where my sight actually went like pure white, and I was on the staircase at that time, which was really scary. It's like, oh God, don't pass out, faint on the stairs, fall down the rest of the stairs and hurt yourself. That was scary, but that's only happened a couple of times, thankfully. But I still get dizziness if I'm laying down, if I sit up too fast, or if I roll over in bed, just change positions. It can happen. If I'm in a car, if I stand up out of the car, I just have to stand there for a few seconds, because sometimes the dizziness, lightheadedness will come about, and I just have to stand there and give it a few seconds to calm back down. So it's like that also will prevent me from working. I get real bad dry mouth. Like my mouth is really super dry right now. So I'm drinking a lot more water. Of course, I'm still doing this. I've been doing this for several years now. I still love it. So I got strawberry banana in it right now. It's the Fit Sip I use for it. So it's no caffeine, very low calorie. So I can't stand this dry mouth all the time. It's that cotton mouth. Ugh. So I'm getting that for side effect. I get my right eye goes blurry on me sometimes. Not when I'm getting there fainting, it's both eyes, but I sometimes just get one eye that gets blurry. So yeah, and I know there's some other side effects that I'm missing that are more minor, but yeah. So that's based on the recommendation that I got from both the HR department, with the person I'm working with in HR and my job, with the foundations, which is in charge of my company's benefits. They both recommended at this point for me to go ahead and apply for long-term disability through their insurance, which is MetLife. So they said, even if you think that you might get the okay to go back to work in a month or two, go ahead and still apply, because it takes a couple of months for MetLife to review it and to come to a decision whether to approve it or decline it. So, but with my psychiatrist and that company, it's like Omaha Insomnia and Mental Service, or Omaha Insomnia and Psychiatric Services. Their policy is that their psychiatrist can't fill out any form of paperwork concerning going to work, not working, going to long-term disability or whatnot for 6 months. And I started seeing her and my therapist in August. It's like psychiatrist was August 21st, therapist was August 25th, but the therapist can't do anything for paperwork wise. It has to be the psychiatrist who's prescribing my meds. And so the earliest that she would be able to fill out paperwork for like long-term disability or to give me the okay to go back to work will be February 21st of 2026. So it's like, oh my God. And this paperwork that I need to fill out for MetLife, I have one form that I have to fill out and a form that physician that's treating me needs to fill out for my mental issues, because it's just been overwhelming now. I finally hit a point where it was just too much. It was too much. So after I got the release from the thoracic surgeon to go back to work starting July 21st this year, it's like 6 weeks after my thymectomy on June 9th. I emailed that to the HR department, but I let them know I'm not ready to come back to work. It was just, I'm just dealing with too much. And so, long story short, I haven't been back to work yet. And I officially lost my position at work on September 15th of 2025. No, I don't know why I keep saying the year, September 15th. Even though I'm still employed, I'm still out on sick leave / short-term disability. But I no longer have my position. But they said, thankfully, a couple of weeks ago, they approved me to continue to be employed with them and stay on sick leave / short-term disability through January 15th of 2026. But they said, no, in order for me to come back, I have to have a release from the psychiatrist saying that it's okay for me to work again. And that I'm more than welcome to apply for any open positions. They sent me a link so I can check out the open positions. That's not guaranteed that I'll get hired, but I have till January 15th to get released to come back to work and then apply for positions. So I can't apply for positions until I have that release, because they don't want me to go through the process, get hired, but then I don't have the release to come back to work, so I couldn't work anyway. So they said, don't apply for anything until you get the release. But I'm more than welcome to come back to the company. So technically I'm still employed, even though I don't have my position where I was a corporate accounting specialist on the corporate accounting corporate accounting specialist - accounting on the controller's team. So Yeah, I don't have that position no more, but I'm more than welcome to apply for any open position as soon as I get the okay. Well, the psychiatrist and the policy that they have is she wouldn't be able to give me the okay to go back to work even if she wanted to until February 21st or later. So it's like that's beyond the January 15th. So I already know unfortunately, I will not be going back to work for Farm Credit Services of America, at least not before January 15th. So like I said, I even after January 15th, when I will be officially terminated, I can still apply for stuff. I just have to have that, even if I'm terminated, in order for me to come back after that date, I'll still have to have a release to provide to HR so I can apply for positions. So, and you never know. I might. It's a great company to work for. It's an awesome company. They treat their employees really well. They make sure that it's family oriented. Or make sure to have a work-life balance. Even though my position and the hours that it entailed was horrible. I love my team though, and I love the work. It's very demanding, it's very stressful, very time consuming. So, but yeah, so, but since I had to call, and then I had a bad anxiety attack because foundations initially sent me the forms, one that I filled out, one for the doctor filled, but the form they sent me was for a physical disability that was preventing me from working. And I was like, I'm panicking. It's like, there's nothing on here for mental. So one, my psychiatrist isn't going to fill anything out anyway. And so who am I going to get this to fill this out? Because my other doctors, my neurologist for my autoimmune disease, my gastroenterologist for my liver cirrhosis, you know, my diseases that they're treating me for aren't quite to the point of disability yet. So, but even though both diseases have a mental health aspect to it for bad anxiety, depression while you're dealing with it, and I got two of them. I got two diseases, bad diseases. So, but anyway, so oh my God, I was having such an anxiety attack that I almost called it a panic attack when I was looking at that form. And, oh my God, that was bad last week. It was so bad that I got a bad headache from it. Even I just had to step away from it and lay down, and my head just pounded for a while, and I just went to sleep, and I started to work on it after, a few days afterwards. But this week on Tuesday, because I talked to foundations again, and they thought that my primary physician can complete the form, since my psychiatrist can't complete the form. And because I initially saw her for my mental issues, I talked to her first, and she recommended to me to seek out psychiatric help and see a psychiatrist and a therapist, and she gave me contact information for the immediate care department at the hospital for psychiatrist. So she can't refer me. They don't refer people, but she can recommend and give me contact information for me to call my own. So I did that, and I saw them a few times, and they definitely recommended that I get a regular psychiatrist and therapist to work with on an ongoing basis, because that was just like immediate care for immediate need. It's not long term. So that was in July, and I said I've finally got my psychiatrist and therapist to see in August. So, but anyway, so Tuesday, so I scheduled an appointment with Dr. Armbruster, my primary care physician, this last Wednesday. But she was hesitant to fill it out. So, but she said, okay, come on in and we'll talk about it. But she was hesitant because she's not the one treating me. So I was panicking. So Tuesday, I called MetLife up directly, and I asked them, like, do you have another form? Because this form doesn't have any sections on it for mental health issues. And it's like, oh yeah, we have a different form. They gave you the wrong form. It's like, oh, thank God. So she emailed me the correct form for the doctors to fill out. And then I talked to her just to get her verification to see if they say the same thing that the foundations says, Farm Credit Foundation says. And she says, yes, that's correct. If she seemed to recognize the fact that they have a 6-month policy, so they must run into that a lot. So she says, yes, go to your primary care physician, have her fill it out, because she initially saw me, and so she knows she'll know what I was dealing with at the time that made her think that I should go seek psychiatric help. So, and then hopefully after 6 months, then they can get something from the psychiatrist, if it's approved. So I got the form. It's like, thank God. I looked at it. I felt a little bit better. And so Wednesday afternoon, I had my water there, physical therapy in the morning. Then right after that, I had my follow-up with the liver doctor. And then in the afternoon, I had to go see my primary care physician to go over this form. And yeah, I was worried because as we started talking about, she just did not want to fill it out. And I was panicking. I think she could see how much anxiety and panic that was, because I told her, no, psychiatrist has a policy that they don't fill this out for 6 months. So if I can't get you to fill it out, then I'm screwed, And I was just starting to go in a spiraling out a little bit, and so I think she recognized that. So she took a look at more of the form. She's like, okay, I can fill this section out, I can fill this section out, but I can't fill out these last sections because I'm not the one actually treating you. So she said what she would do is she's willing to fill it out, the sections that she can fill out, and then she'll make a note on there saying for the sections that are not completed that she has to defer to the psychiatrist to complete once they're able to in 6 months or at the earliest date of February 21st, 2026. I was like, that's great. Like that's what MetLife, when I talked to them, said to do. It's just make a note on there, and then I also have to make a note on my form stating that that the psychiatrist's office has a policy not to fill anything out for 6 months. So they can't say yes or no for working or not working. So they won't fill out any forms for disability or anything like that. So it's like, thank you. So she said she would take a few days to fill it out what she can, and she'll go ahead and, because there's a fax number on there for them to send it directly to MetLife. So she said she would do that. She'll send it to them directly, but she would give me a copy of it once it's filled out. So that I went ahead for my form that I had to fill out. I could only fax to them. I don't have a fax machine. Who has fax machines anymore? There was no email address. But the foundation's person I talked to said that she was willing to send it on my behalf to MetLife. So I emailed it to them a couple of days ago for them to send it on. And I told them that, no, this doesn't include the physician's form because they were sending it directly. So, but I'm a little worried because I sent that on Wednesday. At Wednesday evening is when I emailed it to Farm Credit Foundations. And they never replied that they got it sent off, which is worrying. You would think that they would just reply saying, we got this, we're taking care of it, thank you. Nothing yet. So on Monday, I'm going to call them up and ask them, can you please verify that you received this and that you got it sent to MetLife for me, just so I know that they got it. So, all right, folks. So that's the update. Oh my God, almost 30 minutes long. See, I can't make short videos. So if you stayed this long, I really appreciate you. And if you would, please go ahead and like this video. And if you're not already subscribed to my channel, go ahead and click on that subscription. and then whatever it's called. And then if you want to be notified when I post my weekly videos, go ahead and hit that notification bell. All right. That's it. Have a great weekend. Go Big Red, go Nebraska, and go the Bears on Sunday. Remember to live life to the fullest, because you just don't know what life is going to throw at you. I'm living proof of it. So, and just be kind to everybody. It's the world we live in is crazy right now. So I just want everybody to be safe. And just remember, it's okay to disagree on certain things. So I have dealt with that. I have a lot of family members who, yeah, we're not going to get into that. So, but just be kind. Just set politics off to the side and just be kind. So, all right, folks, take care. I love you all. Have a great one. God bless you all. Bye-bye.